All right, we want to welcome you to All About Living once again. We're out here in Tammy's kitchen in the deep woods of North Florida. Yeah, and what we're going to do today is we're going to share Tammy's Pantry with you.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a look at what it's going to take for you to get ready. All right, guys, this is really tough for us to do, okay?
It is.
It is. But there's one thing that, we both agreed on is that we need to share this with you, and we need to give you kind of an idea, if you don't have an idea, on how to put you a pantry together, some of the things that you need to gear up for. I mean, as far as stocking, what are some good ideas? Where do you begin? What do you do? Why would you do this or why would you do that?
All right. I have a unique perspective on a pantry because I was raised by my grandmother, and my granny had a utility room, and everything was in the utility room. And then she had stuff under the bed. Canned goods that didn't fit in the utility room got put in a box and shoved under a bed. We weren't going to go hungry. The reason for that is that she grew up and was a young girl in the Depression. And even before the Depression, they probably didn't even know it was a Depression. They were so poor. She told us stories of once a week, they got one drumette or one flap off of a chicken, and the rest of the time they just ate whatever came out of the garden or whatever they foraged for or whatever. There was no going to a store, there was nothing. I mean, you ate what you had and you was thankful for it, and that instilled in her to never be without. That lady was never without. For me, that's a unique perspective because I never lived any other way. There was always food. I didn't have to worry about food. It was there, always, I'm hungry, Granny. She'd find me something, So this is just normal, I mean, I've done this all my life, not to the extent that I do it now. Now, I'll be honest about that. When my kids were growing up, I didn't know there was any, I kept what I needed to stay about a month ahead, in case something happened and, a bill was too big or, a tire blew or whatever, and I'd have to take it out of the grocery money. I always made sure I was about 30 days out. I really didn't start going quite what Randy calls prepper nuts until around 2010, 11. And YouTube was starting to get really big. Facebook was starting to get really big. And just about everything on my Facebook was, so I don't even go to Facebook anymore. I mean, I play around on Messenger. I'm not Messenger, Marketplace. I use the Marketplace, but I really stay off Facebook now because it was so sad and depressing. And it just, they scared you to death, and some of it's true. I mean, I really did my homework and I researched and I went and looked at what this little article would say, and I would read 10 pages or whatever, and scared me to death. And I was like, I got kids, I got grandkids, I don't want to be without. I don't want them to be without. And I started being a prepper nutcase, okay? Well, 4 or 5 years down the road from being the nutcase, we find ourselves out here, and we lived off my pantry for a year. We spent like $50 a week is all we were allowed out here for groceries. That was everything. That included laundry soap, dish soap, bath soap. That $50 was everything. Boom. Randy gave me a $50 bill, and I went to the grocery store. Oh, what I got with it was on me, okay? If I had not had that, we'd have been in really big trouble. But we didn't. It got really tight and it was tough and it was hard, but we made it. And as soon as we started doing better, I started building it right back up. Now I have, probably for two people, I have a year. If I have to share with my kids or my neighbors or whatever, then you're going to drop that down probably to 6 months. But I'm working on it. I work on it all the time. I keep adding a bucket here and a bucket there. It's nothing that would break the bank. If I have a little extra, then that's what I do with it. I put it away. I sock it away. That's insurance. Pure and simple insurance. And right now, with grocery prices like they are, and every time you go to the grocery store, you're paying another 10 or 15 cents per item, per everything. That's getting tough. Now, if you're allowed this much for groceries, and this is what you have to spend, and they've jumped it another 5, 6, 7%, that's $5, $6, $7 on 100. You're going to start really feeling the pinch. I don't know how much further it's going to go. I don't know how much higher stuff's going to go. They're telling you that wheat's going to go up, rice is going to go up. Wheat and rice are very important, and they are in a lot of stuff. Corn, they're saying that the, corn crops, coffee. I don't know. The list is pretty long right now. You need those things. The faster I could stock up on those, the faster I will, because, excuse me, because I don't want to pay the higher price. It just keeps going up and up and up. The faster I can buy it, the less I paid for it, the better off economically I am. I don't know how else to put it. That's why I do it, and that's how I do it. It's very simple. It's very slow. I make a list of the staples first, and then anything else I want. I check for sales, buy one, get ones. I check for reduced meat. I check for reduced vegetables. I stop by the flea market, and they always have really good produce. If it's reasonable and they'll sell it to me by the case, I'll take it. I bring it home and I put it up. That's just how I do it. I know if you live in a city and you can't do that, put the canned goods away. Put you some corn, green beans, tomatoes, whatever you like. Just sock it away, stick it under the bed. There's enough room for cans under a bed. It doesn't have to go in your kitchen, in your pantry, and make you feel like you're overwhelmed. Just go tuck it away. Make you an end table and stack them as high as an end table. And put your pretty little duvet or something over it, and there you go. It's all nice and hidden, but it's there, and your family's okay. As you'll notice, most everything I have is in glass. Okay, that's because I have found over time that living out here, that is the best way for me to store things. I tried the Mylar, and it doesn't matter if I put it in something or not. Inevitably, the bugs get it, okay? Now, that may not be the case for you, and you might be perfectly safe with using Mylar, but out here, I cannot. So, I try to only use glass, and I buy in glass so that I can reuse. Randy loves pickled okra. Well, this is a pickled okra jar. Now it has brown sugar in it, because brown sugar doesn't need to be vacuum sealed. So it's in there. Regular sugar doesn't need to be vacuum sealed. This is a spaghetti jar. I try very hard to only buy things in glass. My jalapenos that Randy loves, are in glass so I can reuse it. You know, I keep extra relish. It's not that I don't know how to make it. Obviously, I know how to make relish, and it tastes 10 times better than this one. But when this one runs out, I still have some. So I always keep, 2 or 3 jars of this, 2 or 3 jars of that, just to have. And I love mustard, y'all. Any kind, okay? I like the honey mustard, I like stone ground, I like Dijon, I like it all. So I keep a couple of each when they go on sale for buy one, get one, or like this one was at Berman's and I think it was like 89 cents or something. They're not expensive. I can just tuck those away and they do not go bad. I don't care about date on mustard. It does not go bad. See, as far as pasta goes, I keep all my pasta, my grits, my oatmeal, everything is in jars. And Randy had to put these up. He probably needs to go ahead and put one on this shelf too. We already had it cut, but I had him take it off so I could put this stuff in here. But this is our coon protection plan because raccoons love pasta. They were knocking the jar off onto the concrete floor and then eating the pasta out. I don't know, but that's what was happening. And they broke about 10 jars, and they're expensive. So I had Randy come out here and put these shelves up, and then I can just reach in and get what I want, lift it out, and I don't have to worry anymore about the raccoons. But he does need to get one here because I'm kind of worried about that. But that's anyway. All right, and then down here I have I don't keep a whole lot of cornmeal, but I do keep some. I keep some white, some yellow. I keep a lot of rice. Now I have rice in buckets and I have rice in jars because it's so much easier to pick it up and use it out of the jar. So what I'll do is when I run out here, I will refill the jars, vacuum seal them, put them here, and then I'll put the new rice into the bucket after I freeze it. Always freeze your rice, your oats, your grits, anything like that. Stick them in the freezer for a week, then set them out for 3 or 4 days, then put them in the bucket or put them in glass. Don't just think you can just throw it in a bucket and it'll be okay because it already has little boogers in it. They're allowed so many boogers in it, and so make sure you freeze it. I don't know what else to, I don't keep a whole lot of cans. I do keep canned potatoes. I keep canned tomatoes. We really like Bush's baked beans, so I keep some of those, 4 cans or something. And I keep peaches because we like peach cobbler. We really like applesauce or pork and sauerkraut, which I use applesauce in, so I keep that. I say a lot. Sorry, guys. I do keep quite a few beans. Like I said, I keep about 20 pounds of each variety. Okay, now we're down to my spice rack. And I know a lot of you look at that thing and go, I could never do that. Yes, you can. It's not hard. These down here are mostly refills for these. And these are sitting on little lazy Susans. And I know exactly what I have. All I have to do is turn my little lazy Susan. And I keep, I make my own Italian seasoning. We make our own butt rub. We make our own taco sauce or taco seasoning. It looks like a lot, but it really, really, truly isn't. And you can buy these at Walmart for 97 cents still. Okay, that's a lot of spice. And a little goes a long way. Now, I know if I mix or, serve with turmeric and ginger and soy sauce, and my far out feather dust, then I have an amazing Asian dish. You know, if I want Italian, I take my Italian seasoning, some garlic, some salt and pepper, and I have a perfect Italian dish. You know, I use spices when I pickle, when I make my relishes, when I put stuff up in jars. Bay leaves. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory and simple. Just whatever spices you like, then you need to have them around. Now, you don't have to go crazy like I do and buy it in bulk, but we really like onions, and if I run out of onions, I have onions. It's just, yeah, I only go grocery shopping like once every 3 to 4 weeks, and I only do a major shopping trip like at Sam's or something once every 6 months. So when I buy, I'm buying for the long haul. You don't have to do that. You can go buy start your spice rack with $5 at Walmart, and get some garlic, some salt, some pepper, some Italian seasoning, a little thyme or oregano or, like that. You just, pick you out some recipes that you really like. Look at the spices that are in those and get those. Next time you want to try something different, and, like the next time you want to use something and you want it Indian, then you would buy the curry, the ginger, the turmeric, but it's all 97 cents at Walmart. It's $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. I think it's still around $1 at Aldi. And you can get really nice spices. I always try to keep arrowroot or cornstarch. I keep baking powder, sugar. Pretty much that's what's on this shelf. I mean, it's a lot of duplicate, in the big jar that I just move over to the small one. That makes it easy for me to grab and easy for me to show you. I keep my own bacon grease, That don't go bad either. Use that bacon grease. That's good stuff. Yeah. That's it, folks.
I'm glad you had the opportunity to watch the video with us. Tammy wanted to kind of share with you and give you some kind of idea about how she has this all set up. She'll be the first to tell you that this is not the end all to pantry.
Yeah. No,
okay?
It's not.
No, but it works for us in this little 10 by 20 pole barn, right? And this is where she has her kitchen and she stores everything. We got the fridge and the freezer right there. You guys see that in the videos. But I wanted to tell you guys about these shelves. These shelves right there, we've had those for about 15 years. They were actually in a pool hall that we owned, and then we used them to store lots of bottles on. And, and they've been holding up really well. I don't know how much a sheet of plywood is these days, but, a sheet and a half of plywood, and you can build one of these guys, or 2 sheets. It doesn't matter, okay? But that is a lot of shelf space.
That's a lot of weight.
And that's a lot of weight, but they're holding up beautifully. I guess that's really about it. Her spice rack, you can build a spice rack the same way. Everything that we use out here in her cook shed is all handmade.
Right.
Every bit of it's handmade. And we build it as we go.
Yep, build as we go.
What else you got?
Now you done messed me up. I say a lot, and I apologize. It's not that I don't know what I'm saying, it's that I can't get it out.
She gets tongue-tied. You remember that one video? I had to come over and I had to go, Tammy's getting a little tongue-tied.
Yeah.
So I had to come over and kind of help her out.
Yeah, I do get tongue-tied. What I want you to know is that this is a long time in the making. Start small. one thing at a time. 10 pounds of this, put it up. 10 pounds of that, put it up. Eventually, it'll become natural. That's the whole point of a pantry, is that it's a natural running, first in, first out, first in, first out, of whatever your family likes. Just try to stay away from processed food. I mean, it's really not good for you, and it's not good for your kids. You know, if you want better kids, don't feed them processed food. that messes with their head. I probably shouldn't say that, huh?
No, it's all chemically processed,
Yeah,
and
it's all,
it's going to have an effect on their mental attitude.
Yeah.
You know,
it
so
does,
if you use more natural ingredients, you maintain more of a clearer mind. It's kind of like, medication when you take it, and your body gets used to it, and then you cut it off, and it goes berserk.
Right.
So you might as well use natural ingredients, so that if it ever does hit the fan and you get stuck out in the middle of the woods, and you can't get that stuff anymore. I mean, you don't want to go nuts, right?
Right.
All right, but Tammy and I was also talking about that spice rack over there just a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to Walmart or where Dollar Tree or whatever. Take $20 and get 20 different of those spices, and you'll probably just about have it all covered.
Yeah.
And then you can follow Tammy in her videos.
Right.
And you guys will be all set.
Yeah, spices don't have to be really expensive. I just prefer, the reason you see like the more expensive organic is because it's in glass. I just prefer the glass. Then if I buy it in bulk, I just drop it back in my glass jar, and I'm not wasting anything, and I just prefer it that way. But if I'm in a type, it's perfectly okay to buy 97 cents worth of whatever spice it is that I'm out of at that time, till I can go to the bulk store and get what I really want.
Yep. But anyway, them spices is what makes Tammy's cooking special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, now a lot of my recipes, if you'll notice, they're just salt, pepper, and garlic. I mean, you can do a lot with salt, pepper, and garlic. But, to make specialty dishes, or, even though they're quick and easy, the spices make all the difference. So it's good. They're good to have. They really are good to have. And I wouldn't know what to do without my spice rack.
Well, without a spice rack, you can't cook the same thing over and over and expect a different
result.
Right.
I can cook the same chicken 300 ways, Randy said, and none of them taste the same.
Nope.
Because I use different spices.
Yeah. So anyway, grab a hold of her videos and start watching them. You guys will save a lot of money on your groceries. You'll learn a lot of great cooking tips. And, she does a lot of canning, water bathing, pressure canning. She makes a lot of relishes. She makes a lot of jams. And,
soups. I make a lot of soups.
Yeah, and it's all right out of this pantry right here.
Yeah.
So,
right here.
I guess that's really all we got to talk about tonight, huh?
Yeah, that's about it.
All right.
That's about it.
Didn't Tammy do a great job? Isn't she awesome?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't she awesome? I love her to death. Go ahead and do her, honey.
All right. Bye, y'all.
I love when she does that. Bye.
Bye.
We're out.